Hello everyone, and welcome to the season finale of What's for Dinner in 2023. Today I'm going to be making a roasted vegetable baked penne. A lot of veggies, and that's pretty much all. Well, aside from some penne and some cheese, but it's going to be kind of like a vegetable lasagna, so to speak. Anyway, let's get cooking. Alright, so there are several parts of this recipe. So we're going to start with roasting some vegetables. I have a baking sheet right here. We're going to take what's in this bowl, which is all diced up. It's a red onion, a zucchini, a yellow squash, and a bell pepper. We're going to pour all of this onto this pan. I really hope it all fits, because there's a lot here. We're going to cover it with about 2 tablespoons of olive oil and a pinch of salt and pepper. So I'm just going to take some oil and we're just going to drizzle about, again, you want about 2 tablespoons. Oops, well, that might be a little bit more than that. A little bit more over here. We're going to zhuzh it around here in a second. All right, pinch of salt, a little bit of pepper, and I don't really feel like using my hands. We'll get this. So once you have mixed all of these vegetables together with the oil, the salt, and pepper, you're going to bake them, or roast them essentially, in the oven at 400 degrees for about 45 minutes. About halfway through, so we'll say like 15-20 minutes through, you're going to take them out and you're going to do exactly what I'm doing now. You're going to stir them up again and then continue roasting them. Now while you're roasting them, you can do the next part, which is boil 1 pound of penne pasta. I have already boiled that. It's off to the side over here. So we will be making some red sauce next. And for that, I'm going to move the camera over to the other side here so you can see me do that on the stove. These are looking pretty well, nicely mixed up. I did get a rather large red onion, so there's a lot more red onion than most other vegetables here, but that's all right. Those look pretty well mixed. Make sure it's evened out here. And these are going to go into the 400 degree oven for 45 minutes. Again, I'll come back and we'll stir them up here after that. So, in they go. Alright, switch up the camera and we'll start making the red sauce. Okay, switching camera angles here now. I'm currently melting about 2 tablespoons of butter in my skillet here. And I have 1 yellow onion. We're going to add that here to the butter. We're going to saute this until the onions are about translucent. It should be about 5 minutes or so. Once the butter's melted and the onions have been cooked through, we're going to add 1 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes, 3 tablespoons of tomato paste, which is pretty much just that entire little jar that it comes in, and some Italian seasoning. So I'll be back when it's time to add the tomatoes. Okay, the onions are looking really good. We're now going to add in all the other stuff I said a moment ago, which is, again, a 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes, 3 tablespoons of tomato paste, which I think is just this entire container, some Italian seasoning. We're also going to put in a little bit of salt and a half cup of water. So let's start with the crushed tomatoes. Tomato paste. It looks like very thick tomato soup. Okay, mix that in. And I'm going to add in a tablespoon of Italian seasoning. I'm just going to give a generous pour. That looks pretty good. A little bit of salt. And a half cup of water. Alright, I'm going to let this simmer. I'm going to go and take out the vegetables, give them a stir, and then we'll move on and make our ricotta cheese mixture coming up next. Okay, the red sauce is simmering right here. I just mixed up the vegetables. Now we're going to go ahead and make a ricotta cheese mixture. So you're going to need 15 ounces of ricotta cheese, which I got right here. Put this into this bowl. blend right here. This is about 2 cups, I think, so we'll put half of this in. A little more. And then about a 1/4 teaspoon each of salt and pepper. Just gonna get a good shake of each. And then we'll mix it up. Now all we gotta do is wait for the vegetables to get done. Once they're done, we're gonna build the casserole. So I'm gonna move the camera back over to this side so you can watch me do that. Okay, I moved the camera back over here so you can see me put this thing together. So we have our roasted vegetables, our 1 pound of cooked penne, and the red sauce is back over here on the stove. There's not a lot of room here to put it over here. So the first thing we're gonna do is I have to add 1 cup of the red sauce to this pasta. So here's my trusty container. We're gonna scoop in 1 cup of the red sauce. There we go. Just mix that together. Now the vegetables right here are going to go in what's left of the red sauce. Now this pan is still hot. Where'd my oven mitt go? Here it is. All right, I'm going to bring this over here. We're going to put the rest of these. I'm going to bring this over here and we're going to put all of these into the red sauce. Without having any of it go on the floor. All right, and mix that together. Okay, once this is all mixed together, you're then going to pretty much layer this very similar to a lasagna. I got to get the ricotta mixture out of the fridge, but you're going to put in a layer of the penne pasta and then a layer of the cheese. You're going to scoop that in dollops and then put a layer of the red sauce on top. You don't need to even them out. There's no reason for them to be evenly layered. You just have to layer them in this way. All right, I'm going to move this over here. Put this here. Get the ricotta out of here. All right, now it's pretty much just layering it in. And we're looking for 2 layers. This is an 11 by 17 pan that I'm using right here. It says that a 13 by 9 pan or a 3-quart casserole dish will suffice. I wasn't convinced that the casserole dish I was going to use was sufficient enough, so I'm using my 11 by 17 pan. This bottom layer is the one that I want to get pretty nice and even, and probably where I want to put the most of the pasta because there's a lot in here. All right, I'd say that's about half of the pasta. Okay, now you want to put half of this on top, and you just want to do dollops. You just want to do dollops. So we'll put one here, put one here, there, 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 and there. Okay, and now about half of the red sauce. This is very heavy. Good, and then you're going to repeat the process until you have a full thing. You know, I could just time-lapse this, but I could also just do some movie magic. Hey, look at that! Oh, I forgot. I need to add the rest of the cheese. The rest of the cheese that was in the ricotta mixture gets put on top. And then I'm going to cover it with foil. You got to make sure, and I'm not sure how I'm going to make sure of this, that the foil does not touch this cheese. I'm going to have to tent it pretty well in order to make sure that it doesn't touch the top of this cheese. But pretty much now you're going to bake it again at 400 degrees. It's still set at 400 degrees for about 35 minutes. Get more than I think I need. Tenting it in a way that it doesn't touch the cheese. In we go. 35 minutes. and we'll be back then. All right, it's been about 35 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead, take it out, plate it up, and we'll try it for you. This is really heavy. Very long, so we can pull it. Ooh, yes, yes. Careful, careful. Okay, it looks like the foil did get in contact with some of the cheese, but not enough that I don't think it affected it too much. Oh, that looks so nice. Now you do have the option of broiling it, but I'm going to shy away from that for right now. You get a spoon here. This looks really good, but also really hot. The last thing I want to do is burn myself. All right, I'm going to actually let this sit out for a little bit. Let it cool, then I'll try it. All right, I let it cool down a little bit. Just so I don't like really hurt myself. So as I said, you can also broil the top of this for about 3 to 5 minutes. You can also add some parsley on top. I don't have any parsley, but you can do that if you so wish. So here we go. This looks amazing. Here, take a look at that right there. You see that? This just looks absolutely fantastic. Did I get everything? The ricotta? I think there's some in here. All right. Here we go. Yes. It's like a vegetable lasagna. Very good. Delicious. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this season of What's for Dinner. There obviously will be some new changes coming in the new year. This will be the last episode filmed in this kitchen. We'll be getting a whole new set. Well, because I'll be, and probably by now I already have moved. We'll continue with episodes on the last Thursday of each month. Please submit your recipes for future consideration on the show. You can leave them in the comments below, or you can fill out the form that is located in the description. Thank you all again for watching. I'm excited to bring you some more new recipes with a new set in 2024. So take care, God bless, Happy New Year. We'll see you all next year.